in a quiet meadow bordered by towering oaks and wildflowers. Cedric the tortoise and Sarah the sparrow lived their simple lives. Cedric, with his slow, deliberate steps, spent his days wandering the meadow, nibbling on fresh greens and basking in patches of sunlight. Sarah, on the other hand, darted through the air, chirping softly as she built her nest in the oak tree above. Cedric was often teased by the rabbits and squirrels for his slow pace and uneventful days. "All you do is eat and walk. How boring," they'd say, hopping away with laughter. Cedric didn't mind. He found joy in noticing the small things, the dew glistening on a blade of grass, the warmth of the sun on his shell, or the delicate patterns of a dandelion. Sarah, too, had a knack for appreciating the ordinary. As she wove her nest, she admired each twig's unique shape and texture. "This one is strong. This one is soft," she would hum to herself. While other birds raced to distant lands, she was perfectly content with the familiar beauty of her meadow. One sunny morning, Sarah fluttered down to where Cedric was munching on clover. "Good morning, Cedric," she chirped. "What are you doing today?" "The same as always," Cedric said with a smile. "Walking, eating, and enjoying the sunshine. And you?" "The same as always," Sarah replied. "Gathering twigs and singing to the wind." Cedric chuckled. "It sounds like we both have simple lives. But they're wonderful, don't you think?" Sarah said, tilting her head. "Every day, there's something new to notice. Like that cloud up there. Doesn't it look like a turtle?" Cedric squinted up at the sky. "It does. And look at this leaf. It's shaped like a heart." They spent the morning pointing out small wonders to each other. A caterpillar inching along a stem, the gentle sway of the tall grass in the breeze, and the way the sunlight made the meadow shimmer like gold. Later that week, a storm swept through the meadow. The wind howled, and the rain battered the trees. When the skies finally cleared, Cedric emerged from his burrow to find the meadow in disarray. Twigs and leaves were scattered everywhere, and puddles dotted the ground. Sarah's nest had been destroyed. She perched on a low branch, her feathers drooping with sadness. "All my hard work is gone," she said softly. Cedric approached her. "It's true the storm changed things, but maybe we can find joy in putting it all back together. Look at all these twigs and leaves. There's so much to work with." Sarah hesitated but then nodded. "You're right. And maybe I'll find even better twigs this time." Together, they began to rebuild. Cedric used his strong legs to carry twigs and leaves to Sarah, who wove them into a new, sturdier nest. As they worked, they found moments of delight. A shiny pebble Cedric discovered, a twig with an unusual curve, and the way the sun broke through the clouds, casting rainbows on the puddles. By evening, Sarah's new nest was complete, and the meadow had begun to look like itself again. Exhausted but happy, the two friends sat together beneath the oak tree. "Today was different from our usual days," Sarah said, "but it was still full of small joys." Cedric nodded. "It's true. Even in the mess, there was beauty to be found." From that day on, Cedric and Sarah became known as the meadow's quiet optimists. They showed the other animals that joy didn't have to come from grand adventures or exciting events. It could be found in the simple act of noticing the world around them. And so, Cedric the tortoise and Sarah the sparrow lived their days finding happiness in the ordinary, teaching everyone in the meadow that life's greatest treasures often lie in the mundane. The end.